about our beautiful African lion over here. So African lions have previously been found all over sub-Saharan Africa, and they do live in kind of savanna and grassland areas. Unfortunately, they are listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List endangerment scale. This is a scale we use to determine the endangerment status of each species. So vulnerable is not good. It means that the population is not healthy or stable, and that we really need to put more effort into conservation projects as well. So you might have noticed that I said previously they could have been found in all over sub-Saharan Africa. This is because in the northern part of this region they are no longer found. In the western part they are considered critically endangered, and in the southern part they're actually considered least concern, meaning that in that area they do actually have a healthy and stable population. So because they inhabit such a massive region, depending on kind of where they are, their endangerment status does differ. But overall they've been named vulnerable as a species overall. There are only 20,000 of them left in the wild. This is a 40% decrease within the last 3 generations, which is not great. And historically, you could find lions in parts of North America, Europe, Asia, and all over Africa as well, but they've disappeared from 94% of that historic range. So the threats that they face and the reason that their numbers have been decreasing so much, main one is habitat loss due to urbanization, and also humans using their land for agricultural purposes. Oftentimes their prey numbers are decreasing. When their prey numbers decrease, they need to find new territory to find new prey. Illegal wildlife hunting is a big one, and illegal trading as well, and climate change is a big one as well. So recently we've noticed that there's a lot more droughts caused by climate change. And oftentimes farmers will actually kill these guys before they even have a chance to attack their livestock, just so the farmers don't have that extra threat of their livestock being harmed. But these guys really face a number of threats, which really isn't great. So a little bit about the lion in general, the African lion. So the lion is the only big cat in the world that is actually social. So what this means is that they prefer being in a group rather than being solitary. So our tiger over here, Dragon, for example, is a solitary animal. He very much likes being by himself, but lions are not like that. So they live in groups known as prides. The prides are consisted usually between 2 and 3 males who come from the outside and join the group, as well as 6 to 7 female lions who are all related, as well as all of their offspring as well. They have a quite unique social system. So all the females will try and synchronize their birth, meaning that they all try to have birth at the same time. And once the cubs are born, when a cub needs milk from their mum, they can actually go to any of the mothers, not just their biological ones. So it's really cool how that works. 90% of the hunting is also done by females, and they actually prefer hunting when there is when the weather is not great. So loud rain or thunderstorms really prevent the prey from hearing them creep up. They're not the most quiet of animals, so the rain kind of covers up their movement. And then when they do hunt, they go for stuff like antelopes, zebras and gazelles. Oftentimes these animals that they hunt are actually faster than themselves, so these guys, what they will do then is just hunt in groups. So that really helps when they're a social group as well. So unlike with most cats, it's actually quite easy to tell the difference between a male and a female. So the lion we have here, for example, is a female. A male would have a great mane, of course. So when a male cub is 2 years old, they will start growing their mane. And the darker this mane is, the more dominant the male is. This is just because the darker it is, the more testosterone they tend to have. Manes really help with jugular protection. Oftentimes males will have conflicts within each other and go and fight each other, and this really helps them not to get hurt in this very vulnerable area as well. Another thing it's good for is actually attracting mates. So females will always go for males that have darker manes just because they are more dominant. So if you've ever seen the film Lion King, I'll spoil it for you quite quickly. The villain in that film, Scar, actually has a very dark mane. So in the wild, he would have been the dominant lion, kind of the leader of the tribe, as you could say. Well, it's Mufasa, That's quite a golden almost name, so he would have not been the king. Yeah. Lovely.
Was it a fairy tale then?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's what I heard.
That's what I heard too.
They're also the only big cat or cat that actually roars together. And so when they roar as a group, as a pride, and that can last for up to 30-40 seconds, and it can actually be heard from 5 miles away. So it can be heard from very far away. If you have heard a lion roar, it is not as majestic as you might imagine. It kind of sounds like a cat is coughing up a big hairball. So it's not that fun to listen to. The tiger is much more majestic. So if you've ever seen a film produced by the production company Lionsgate, which is the one where a lion comes through a circle, there's a big roar, that is actually a tiger's roar that they used and not a lion's roar. So the reason they did this is they wanted the majestic image of a lion with the majestic roar that they just don't possess. So they used the majestic roar of a tiger and mashed them together, which is quite a fun fact. Yeah. So a little bit about our individual here. This is Kimya. She was born in 2009 and she came to us in 2019. She is by herself right now, but she seems to be doing well. And if you ever want to try and help these guys, if you are ever lucky enough to go down to Africa, where these guys do live, there are plenty of organisations that do sustainable tourism, and they put kind of the welfare of the animals as a priority rather than making money. So they give the animals the space that they need, whilst you're still able to kind of see them in their natural environment, which is really good. Yeah, other than that, there are a lot of conservation projects as well going on that you can support as well from there or afar. Lovely. If you have any questions, please let me know. This is the last talk of the day. The Reptile and Bug House closes at 3:30 if you're still interested in visiting that. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed your day and continue to do so, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.
Is she going to get any mates, do you think?
Probably not.
No,
No,
she's
so they're very
still on her own,
territorial.
Is she 10?
No, she is 13, 14. Yeah. I'm not sure when what her birthday is. So they're very territorial. So when we actually introduced her to the previous line,